everybody. Welcome to the Hallmarkies podcast. And today we are really excited because we are getting our summer on and we're giving our preview for the Summer Nights films and the other stuff coming up in August and September on Hallmark Channel and on Hallmark Plus, the new streaming service that just got announced. It's very exciting. And I am film critic Rachel Wagner, and I have with me today, I have Stephanie from Magical Movie Club. And Stephanie, thank you so much for coming on and doing this.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad to be here.
Yes. So if people haven't checked out, we did our recap of the Christmas in July movies last week. And so you definitely want to take a listen to those. That was really fun. And today we are talking about the Summer Nights movies. And are you a year-round Hallmark person, or do you mainly focus on the Christmas movies?
I'm year-round now.
Yeah,
when I started this year, I became year-round, so I haven't missed anything this year.
Oh, good. Okay, good. So is this your first Summer Nights season? Oh.
Yep. So I get to see it all through fresh eyes.
That's very good. That'll be very interesting to see what you think, because it has been a pretty strong grouping the last couple of years.
Oh, good.
They've been good. Yeah. A bunch of, and when we did the non-Christmas best of 2023, a bunch of mine were in August. So yeah. And I think that this grouping has a lot of whimsy and is very fun. So I'm really optimistic.
I am too. I was noticing the theme of dreams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Some of which are grounded and some of which are a little more imaginary. And I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with some of these.
Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll go through them all. We'll talk a little bit about them and then give a 1 to 4 suns rating of excitement. So 4 very excited, 1 not excited at all. And, and so it starts out on August 3rd. We have Junebug, and this stars Aaron O'Connell and Autumn Reeser, director David Weaver. He's very reliable.
Love him.
And yeah, and it's Juniper, a book editor turning 40, is magically reconnected with an 8-year-old version of herself who questions her life choices, including the dream of writing her own stories. So what do you think about this?
I'm really excited to see this one. Couple reasons. One, I'm a big fan of Autumn Reeser. There's not much that she's ever made that I didn't like. I may not even be able to find one that I really didn't like. I love her. I love what she brings to movies. And this one looks like it has almost a time travel kind of a theme, with her reconnecting with an 8-year-old version of herself. So I'm hooked on that. Yeah. I'm fascinated with time travel stories. And this isn't maybe really time travel, but it's close enough that I can't wait to see it.
Me too. I think it sounds really good. There's this movie called The Kid with Bruce Willis, and where he is like this workaholic, bad man of business. He's lost his way. And one day he comes into contact with the 12-year-old version of himself.
Oh, okay.
And Lily Tomlin's in it. She's really funny. It's a really cute Disney movie. And I just love that whole idea of like, what would the 12-year-old, in this case, the 8-year-old versions of ourselves, what would they think of us? What would they think of our lives? And there's a scene in The Kid where he says, I'm 40. I don't know how to drive a plane. And I'm not married, and I don't have a dog. I grew up to be a loser.
Yes.
And he thinks he's all like cool and everything, slick. And so that whole idea is very funny, very interesting. And I don't know. I mean, do you think the 8-year-old version of yourself would be impressed? Be like, oh.
Yeah. I don't know any other way to say that.
Yeah.
Took me a long road to get here, but I think I'd be surprised at the way my life turned out. Not even where I thought it was going.
Yeah.
Very, very different than what I thought.
I think I'd be pretty pleased. I think I'd be surprised that I haven't ever gotten married. Just because I think I just assumed like everybody gets married, kind of a thing when I was that little. But other than that, I think I would be pretty happy with everything that I've done with the podcast and just being a film critic. I know I would think that was really cool, like back then, because I used to love reading criticism and watching Siskel and Ebert and other critics and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I used to get the Leonard Maltin movie guide every year and comb through it and just stuff like that.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. So being a film critic, I would think that was very cool. So I think I'd be pretty pleased. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I would not have thought of Aaron O'Connell and Autumn Reeser as a match. I don't know why. But Aaron O'Connell is one of the most handsome human beings on the planet. So I'm happy.
I don't know him yet.
Yeah,
this will be my first chance to see him. So
yeah, he's great. So that'll be fun. And so I'm gonna give this high. I'm very excited. I'm gonna give it a 4.
Yep, that's where I'm giving it.
Yeah. Okay. So then we have My Dreams of You. And this is on the 10th. Tyler Samuels and Kapil Talwalkar and director Kevin Fair. Grace has recurring dreams about a handsome stranger named Michael due to a mix-up in Dream Central. When they finally meet in person, Grace is shocked to learn he has no idea who she is. I think this sounds really charming. Another one, real charming. Yeah.
If it's done right, this one could be really good. I'm nervous about it. I don't know why. I'm not sure. But I like the idea of this Dream Central. I want to know more about what is Dream Central. This could be fun. If they make this turn out to be a really magical place, it could be a lot of fun. Yeah.
So this one, I know I've got like a 3.5. I'm very hopeful about it. It sounds kind of like the one with Catherine McPhee I think it's called In My Dreams.
Okay.
That's a fun one from a couple of years ago. But I don't know. What do you think? How many would you give?
I'll give this one a 3.
Yeah, 3.
Ho, ho, ho. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies Patreon.
Do you love Hallmarkies podcast, especially at Christmas?
Do you enjoy the holiday previews, recaps, interviews, and bonus episodes?
If the answer is yes, please consider supporting the Hallmarkies Patreon. We need your help to do what we do both during the Christmas season and all year round.
But not only do you help a podcast led by strong, independent women by becoming a Patreon, you get to become a part of the Hallmarkies family.
Starting at only $2 a month as a patron, you will have access to our Facebook Patreon group where we talk about the movies, shows, and more all year.
We also have many monthly patron watch-alongs with guests like Lacey Chabert, Natalie Hall, Paul Campbell, Mary Lou Henner, and more, giving their behind-the-scenes details of their films.
As a patron, you also have the chance to provide input into the podcast and even join us at different tiers.
So this Christmas season, spread some cheer to the Hallmarkies Patreon and become a member today. You won't regret it.
Go to patreon.com/Hallmarkies to learn more.
That's patreon.com/Hallmarkies.
Then we have A Costa Rican Wedding. This is on the 17th, and it stars Rhiannon Fish and Christopher Russell. Juliana Wimbles is the writer and Colin Theys the director. A klutzy maid of honor gets help from her handsome nemesis when things go awry at her best friend's Costa Rican wedding. What do you think of this?
For some reason, that sounds fun. I'm looking forward to that one, especially with Christopher Russell in it.
Yeah. I think this one will depend a lot on actually sort of the supporting characters. If this bride is a lot, then that could really turn me off.
Okay.
Because things go awry at her best friend's wedding. Because there's nothing I dislike more than a bridezilla. That's just not for me.
Yeah.
So if she's a lot, then but there's few people more likable than Rhiannon Fish. She is just so sweet and such a likable performer. And I feel like her and Christopher, I don't know if they've done a movie together, but it seems like they'd have nice chemistry.
I think they're going to do really well on this one. I have high hopes for this one.
Yeah, yeah. And a lot of times those ones where it's the maid of honor, like a lot of times the wedding movies I don't really care for. You know, again, I hate the whole bridezilla thing. And but if it's about the maid of honor and that, like, I actually like Destination Wedding, even though Andrea Brooks, the bride in that one, is a lot. She is pushing it for me as far as her freaking out and everything. But I do like that movie, and I like Alexa in that, and I don't know. I just think that that one's pretty fun. So this one could get some of that energy, I think.
I'm expecting that. I don't know
Yeah.
why. Somehow I just have a gut feeling on this one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it'll be nice to see like Costa Rica, it'll be kind of escapism there.
Yep,
Mm-hmm. So,
exactly.
so what would you give it?
This one I'll give this a 3.5.
Okay. Yeah, I give it a 3.5. That sounds good. Okay, then we have The Magic of Lemon Drops, which I guess is based on a book called The Magic of Lemon Drop Pie, is the name of the book.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was a popular book. And this is on the 24th. It stars Lindsay Finesca and Ian Harding. And then it's when Loli's Aunt Gert gives her 3 magical lemon drops. She gets to experience what her life would have been like if she had made different choices and lived those unfulfilled dreams. And I do think that of these 3 kind of whimsical ones, this is the least interesting to me. Of the meet compared to meeting your 8-year-old self, the recurring dreams of a handsome stranger. This one, I don't know why. It just sounds like maybe a little more boring. But still, I'm very curious that they're kind of going so whimsical on these picks.
This one sounds like a story that's been made many times. So I want to see something new. It's a story I love, a little bit of an It's a Wonderful Life feel, the alternate life if you had made different choices. So if it's done well, it could be really, really good. But it's been told a lot. So I'm a little more nervous about how much new, fresh life can they give to a story like this one. I'm picturing a couple other movies besides It's a Wonderful Life that even Hallmark has done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's true. And when you do things like The Family Man and movies like that, the hard part is that the relationship that then they're building is gone once the alternative life is gone. And so then how do you end the movie? That's where it becomes difficult, because in like The Family Man, Nicolas Cage and Tia Loney aren't actually a couple. They don't really know each other. And that's why I liked, not last year, but the year before, there was a movie called Kiss Before Christmas.
Yes.
With James Denton. And yeah,
I love that one.
It was so good. And Terry Hatcher. And what was brilliant about that movie is that instead of gaining a family in the alternate life, he loses the family in the alternate life, right? So that makes the ending so much more satisfying when he's back with his family. And then I thought it was so smart that they made him have adopted kids. So when he's in the alternate life, he sees his kids with other parents. And he's like,
it was
what?
So good.
That was so clever.
So good.
Yeah, that was really, really smart.
I'm in the middle of doing a Christmas countdown, and that probably just gave it away that that's on my list.
Yes. Very good. Very good. Yeah, this one I am going to give 2.5. I do like the leads a lot. They're very likable. And it could be fun. It just depends on how it turns out.
I'm going to agree with you on that one.
Yeah, yeah.
I hope that they knock this one out of the park. I'm apprehensive about it. I hope they knock this out of the park. And I would love it if when this one's over, I come back and say, you know what, my expectations were here. And boy, oftentimes that's the case with me. The ones I go in watching where I don't expect much sometimes turn out to be my favorite movies of all.
That's true.
Maybe this will be one of those.
Yeah, that's true. Then next we have Head Over Heels, and this is on the 31st, and this is Rebecca Dalton and Olivia Renaud. And Addison's dream comes true when luxury shoe designer Delaney Diaz hires her, thanks to PR guru Austin. But will she be able to achieve a work-life balance while also considering a new romance? What do you think?
Somehow this is my least favorite of all of them, just reading them. Question. This sounds like kind of the most boring to me. I don't know why.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's just totally basic. There's nothing like interesting. At least the lemon drop one, that's like kind of new. And there's something kind of fresh about it. This, I mean, how many have we seen of the girl and the work and the ex-boyfriend and we got the girl and the work and she'll obviously learn to enjoy life and her work-life balance. And everything. But I think that, I mean, I do like Rebecca. I think she's very sweet. Olivia Renaud is, when he can be really good. He was in one this for New Year's New Movies that was okay. But he is in a movie that was on Up TV called Christmas on Fifth Avenue, which I highly recommend. It was great. And he can be incredibly charismatic in the right hands. So that kind of makes me intrigued, of him being this PR guru, I guess.
Okay.
Like he could be, if they use him right, he could be great. But I don't know. So I'd give this one probably a 2.
Right now I'm giving it a 2. And again, I'm hoping that they prove me wrong.
Yeah.
Like I said, sometimes for me, it's all about the character growth and the chemistry that develops. If something really catastrophic happens in the beginning and somebody has to change their direction unexpectedly and they discover something brand new and they change and they fall in love as a result of that change and they make some wonderful decisions as a result of seeing the world through different eyes again, that could be magical to me. Those are what make some really magical movies to me, that get me emotional.
Yeah.
It has the potential, but just reading that description isn't exciting.
Yeah, I'd agree. It doesn't sell it well. I agree. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's Factor Meals. Warmer, sunnier days are calling. Fuel up for them with Factor's no prep, no mess meals. Meet your wellness goals in time for summer thanks to the menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So no matter how busy you are, you'll always have time to enjoy nutritious, great tasting meals. Make today the day you kickstart a new healthy routine. What are you waiting for? With 35 different meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from every week, you'll always have new flavors to explore. Crush your wellness goals this month with dietitian-approved meals and ingredients you can trust. Make your day delicious from breakfast to dessert. Stay fueled with easy, nutritious options. Treat yourself to restaurant-quality meals that feature premium ingredients like filet mignon, shrimp, and blackened salmon. Keep kitchen time to a minimum. Factor meals are ready in 2 minutes. No shopping, prepping, cooking, or cleaning up. Enjoy effortless support for your lifestyle. Choose from 6 menu preferences to help you manage calories, maximize protein intake, avoid meat, or simply eat well balanced. Head to factormeals.com/Hallmarkies50 and use code Hallmarkies50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code Hallmarkies50 at factormeals.com/Hallmarkies50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active. Definitely check out Factor Meals. We know you'll love them. Well, we're going to talk about the 2 mysteries. Where are you on the mysteries? Do you watch the mysteries? Do you like those?
I love mysteries. I haven't had time to watch mysteries in a while, so I'm a little bit behind on them.
Okay. Well, this first one, it's kind of interesting because I've actually seen it. I can't give my rating because I actually did I gave some feedback to the studio on this one, actually. So I don't know if it'll be different than what, I saw or, what they do. Anyway, so I will not be on the recap for this one when we do it. But it's Jazz Ramsey, A Canine Mystery. And this is on the 2nd. Rachel Scarston, Corey Sevier, director Marco De Fumia. When Jazz Ramsey and her crime detection dog, Zeus, stumble upon an old crime scene, the canine trainer, her star pup, and ex-boyfriend, and lead detective Nick are thrown into the investigation. So what do you think? Does that sound interesting to you?
It does.
What do you think sounds interesting about it? It's like her and her dog.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a whole lot to comment on this one. I wish I did.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I think dogs are very appealing, and I think that Rachel Scarston and Corey Sevier are very likable actors. So I think that's good. But what would you give it as far as 1 to 4? What do you think?
I'll give it a 3.
3. Okay, good. All right. Then we have Nellie Knows Mysteries, A Fatal Engagement. And this is on the 23rd. and it's Pascal Hutton and Kevin Smith, so that's really fun, from When It Calls the Heart. Director
yes.
David L. Strasser. Local advice columnist with knowledge of town's secrets gets entangled in a murder case, clashing with the detective leading the investigation. Well, this one to me sounds basic. That's like every mystery ever done on Hallmark Channel is basically the town gossip and the clashing with the investigator, busybody, kind of a thing.
Definitely.
But we already know that Pascal and Kavan have really nice chemistry together. They work well together.
Yes.
So I'm pretty optimistic that they'll elevate it and that it'll be fun.
Yep.
And, especially as Rosemary on What Calls the Heart, Pascal is really good at like the busybody kind of in everybody's business, just really fun. And she could bring that. In fact, even on When It Calls the Heart this last season, she kind of was sort of an investigator and trying to figure out who shot Lucas. Yep. So I think it could be a fun dynamic.
For that reason, because of the casting there, I can't wait to see that.
Yeah. So I would give this a 3.
I'd give that one a 3.5 because of the cast.
Then the only other thing that we have to talk about, so there's 2 series. There's a series of movies coming to Hallmark Plus in September. And it's called Love on the Danube. It's in September. And we don't know really much about it, but we do know it stars Brendan Penny, Jessica Sipos, Wes Brown, Nazneen Contractor, Dan Jeannotte, Sarah Power, and Catherine Disher. So that last one's basically going to be a Good Witch reunion, which is really fun. Yeah.
and I was a big fan of Good Witch as well. So
yeah.
So I can't wait to see that.
And I'm excited because we, when Good Witch was going, we had Catherine Disher on our podcast a bunch of times. We had her on like 6 times over the course of, all those years. And we haven't had her on since because she hasn't done, anything to have her on for. And so I'm really hoping that we can get her back on because I'd love to see how she's doing. And I love her. She's so fun. And I love Dan and I love Sarah. I mean, it's a great group. So that one's fun. And all of those actors, Brendan Penny isn't my favorite, but he has been good in some other ones. He can come off kind of smug to me, Brendan Penny.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, but he has done some that I like. In Merry Measure, that was one that I really liked. I liked the The Wedding Cottage. I liked that one with Aaron Krakow. That was good. So he has done some that I like. Yeah.
Was he also in Easter Under Wraps?
That one was so bad.
Really? Because I love that one. I absolutely love that movie. I do.
That's funny. Very good. It takes all types in Hallmark.
I know it.
Very good. And the sizzle reel does make this really appealing. It looks really fun, I think. And it says the new trilogy, Love on the Danube, promises romance, Strauss waltzes, and a picturesque cruise down the Danube River. So I don't know if all 3 of these are all going to end up on the cruise, and they'll be sort of like, there'd be like a mild interactions, they're like, I don't know if these are all in like the same universe or if they're just self-contained, but that would be fun if that was the case, but overall, I'm definitely looking forward to this. I'd probably give it a 3.5, 3, something like that.
Giving this one a 4. I can't wait to see this one.
Yeah. And then the last thing to talk about is the new series, The Chicken Sisters. And this is also based on a book. I guess it was really popular among book clubs and things like this. The Chicken Sisters book. It was one of Reese Witherspoon's book club picks that she does. Yeah, I think on like Good Morning America or someplace like that she does. And anyway, so this is sometime in September on Hallmark Plus. It stars Skylar Fisk, Genevieve Angelson, Leah Thompson, and Wendy Malick. And it's The Chicken Sisters is a family drama dipped in Southern charm and served up with a saucy side of romance. The setting is the fictional town of Merrimack, where a generations-old rift between dueling fried chicken restaurants Mimi's and Franny's has left the founders' families fractured and the locals taking sides. When popular cooking competition show Kitchen Clash comes to town, this could be the recipe for ending this feud once and for all. But things are fixing to heat up both inside and outside of the kitchen as the reality show spotlight causes sparks to fly as secrets are spilled and feathers get ruffled.
It's quite a description, isn't it?
It really is. Way to go, summary writer. So, yeah, I mean, I think this sounds pretty fun. It definitely seems like they're trying to kind of mine the same territory as like Virgin River, or some of these other popular shows that you have, and so I can kind of see that happening, and it's a great, good cast. It could be. I mean, I'm just in general more of a movie person than a TV person, but it sounds like pretty entertaining. I don't know. What do you think of the Chicken Sisters?
It sounds like it could be just fun. Just like a lot of just lighthearted fun. I like the cast in there. I think they've got a pretty strong cast in this one, so I'm looking forward to seeing this one.
It kind of reminds me of like Heart of Dixie, you know what I mean? Some of those type of shows.
Yeah.
And I like those shows. And maybe even a little bit Gilmore Girls, small town, everybody's kind of gossipy.
Yes.
All of that. And
that's the impression I was getting.
So I hope it'll be good. I hope it's good. I mean, it's certainly ambitious. I mean, what do you think of the whole presentation on Hallmark Plus? Do you think does that entice you to sign up?
Well, I will. I'm not as much a reality show person, and I saw that they were going to be doing a few of those. So I may not be watching those necessarily, but there's some other things on there that, well, there was one reality show, maybe Lacey's. I might watch Lacey's. That one could be fun.
Yeah. I'm also not a huge reality person, so that doesn't interest me that much. But these narrative ones is more kind of interesting to me. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if it works for them. I'm very curious to see how it goes, but there we go. That's it. We previewed everything.
Nice.
Yes.
So I'm just excited that they have so many new movies coming out.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I'm probably, out of all of these, I think I'm probably looking forward to Junebug the most.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that one caught my attention.
So let us know about you. If you're listening, let us know what you're looking forward to most in the comments or on Twitter. We'd love to hear what you have to say. And Stephanie, thanks so much for doing this. And where can people follow you and your content?
Oh, thank you again for having me. I've had so much fun, and I am the Magical Movie Club. So I'm on YouTube, I'm on Twitter, trying to get my Instagram going, and also magicalmovieclub.com.
Great. And we'll have that all in the description, so you should definitely check that out. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all over social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. So check that out. Also, make sure you're following the podcast at Hallmarkies Pod and Hallmarkies Podcast, all of our social media. And if you are listening on iTunes, please leave your ratings and reviews. We sure appreciate that so much. And if you're watching on YouTube, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that so much. We also have our Patreon group, and that's the biggest way you can support us and be part of our little community here. And you get to be part of watch-alongs every month and other perks. We try to make it as beneficial, bonus episodes, other things like that. So please, please, please check out the Patreon. And we have the merch store. Take a look at that. It's a lot of fun. And thanks again so much, Stephanie. And we'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Bye.